At first glance, this unique 12-pointed stone appears to be nothing more than a study in complex, decorative geometry. Most jewelry is designed to help the wearer stand out. We use gold and silver to signal our status and inflate our presence in a room. But inside the Bektashi Lodge, this stone, the Teslim Tashi, serves the opposite function. It is a weight intended to keep the ego from rising. A dervish does not choose to wear it. It is placed around their neck by a spiritual master to seal a lifelong oath, a commitment to bind their hands from tyranny, their tongue from insult, and their loins from sin. To understand how a piece of carved rock can enforce such a life, we have to look at the specific history etched into its form. This 12-pointed perimeter is not an arbitrary design choice. Each corner represents one of the 12 imams of the Alevi Bektashi path. These figures represent a centuries-long history of martyrdom and resistance against illegitimate authority. From Imam Ali to Muhammad Mehdi, their lineage is defined by a refusal to bow to unjust power, even when facing prison or death. By wearing these 12 points, the dervish binds themselves to that same defiance against oppression. Above and below the main stone are two smaller nodes, representing the lineage of Hassan and Hussein, the grandsons of the Prophet. At the very base, the necklace ends in a knot. This honors the poet Nasimi, who was flayed alive for his spiritual convictions, a final reminder of the cost of absolute truth. The stone is carved with a duality. The outward face represents Prophet Muhammad, while the inward face, the one hidden against the wearer's skin, represents Imam Ali. The physical structure creates a moral enclosure, serving as a constant tactile reminder for the wearer to control their actions, their speech, and their desires. In its natural state, a stone is jagged, formless, and unyielding. The tradition views the raw human ego in the same light. To reach the perfect form, the raw material must be chiseled. Every flat surface on the Teslim Tashi requires something being removed. The Bektashi path treats the disciple like this stone. The master uses the discipline of the lodge to chip away at the student's pride, anger, and self-interest. Only after this painful reduction can the individual be trusted with the sacred trust of the path. We see this refinement in the gem ceremony. Here, individuals move as a single harmonious body, their egos submerged into a collective circle. The transformation from a rough rock into a sacred object mirrors the transformation of a person into a perfected soul. Once the surface is perfectly flat and the ego is gone, the soul acts like a mirror. Consider a convex mirror. Because it bulges outward, it captures a wide view but shrinks the actual image. This is a mind obsessed with its own outward projection, wide-reaching but internally diminished. A concave mirror does the opposite. It curves inward, creating a Dave Einasa, a giant's mirror, that dangerously inflates the reflection. This is the mind lost in its own sense of self-importance. The Bektashi ideal is a mirror that is perfectly flat. It does not warp, shrink, or inflate. It reflects reality exactly as it is. The entire discipline of the Teslim Tashi is the work of flattening these distortions. Haji Bektash Veli taught that spiritual growth is not found in words, but in hal, a state of being. Inheriting the legendary sword of Ali is meaningless if you do not also possess the heart of Ali. This is why the face of the stone representing Ali is worn against the chest. It must touch the heart to be effective. The stone is heavy. Its weight is a tactile, silent alarm that sounds every time the wearer moves, warning them if their pride begins to return. By wearing this stone, the dervish commits to a life of service. The jewelry remains, but the person who put it on has disappeared into the Insan-i Kamil, the perfected human.